Hello, Becky. What's up?
I'm good. Good evening.
Good evening.
These people are finally succeeding in confusing my brain this
As
night.
in,
Pull up.
pull up. So let's go straight to the point. Let me have the women here and then call in the guys.
It's okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. So we have the females here. So tell us, do you think people have started losing, or you guys have
okay.
lost
It's normal.
your cultural identity?
Okay.
Well,
go. You go first. Don't worry.
okay. Well, for me, I think no. For me,
Why
I think
no?
Because you know where you are coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, everyone have a respect.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? When you see a other person, you need to respect that person. Definitely. It doesn't matter where you are living or where you are.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But our African people take it very personal, like very serious. Like it's a do or die affair.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Wow.
Like the three guys that came to this live video.
Yeah.
Like our guys in Moscow, Kojo and the other boy Steve. I don't know. They say something like the thing. I was just listening to them since everything that they were saying like that. Like, I don't really understand. Okay, look at Kojo now. No, let me first of all go for the Steve. Okay. Look at the Steve. He said because that guy called that man by his name, it means that he doesn't have respect for him. You understand? But you now, you are telling that guy, fuck you. Guy man like you. You understand? You are telling him face to face, fuck you. You understand? And you think you have a respect.
Oh my God.
The way you speak, look at the way that guy was like saying everything like with anger. That guy get all temper. I know I say all temper. I don't know him. I've never met with him.
Which guy are you talking about?
Steve.
I think
it's Steve.
Is
he Kevin? I don't know. Steve, the yellow guy. You understand? That guy get all temper. For him to speak like that, like talk to that guy the way he talk. Everybody get their own opinion. You understand? So you come to this life, give your own opinion. People will insult you, definitely. But that one is their own. You understand? For you to come to this life to give your own opinion, it's like it means that you are bold enough. Because it's not easy to stand on camera and be speaking. You understand? Like that guy from I don't know where he's from. The Roman guy, I don't know. That guy make a lot of sense. A lot. Because this culture of a thing now, you know, say many guys, like many of our men, if they don't get female pikin, like no male pikin, it means a taboo for them. Some of them they pursue their wife come up for house because they don't get man pikin. You understand? Now because of the culture, they feel say if they don't get man pikin, means say they don't lose everything. For them, woman not be anything for where they did, and which is very wrong.
Yeah.
You understand? And like our Nigeria guys, our men, they just do need that respect. Like if you like saying I do or die, if you don't respect them, you say you know be good woman. Like Kojo say his girlfriend, Nigeria, they need them, they give them food. You understand? Like the thing they surprise me. You understand?
I'm done. Like if people are finally succeeding confusing my brain this night, I don't want to laugh more because I'm
really surprised me. Say the woman they need them, they give them food. If that you get that kind of woman, we get respect for you. Most for year that they marry, that they do wedding. Many people don't do wedding. What is stopping you from getting married to that lady? You understand?
I just have a simple question for them. Sorry that I'm cutting you short. I just have a simple question for them. Nigerian men, I will just say Nigerian men that I know. When they get married to Russian women or white lady, I see the way they treat those women. They treat them with so much respect.
Yes.
Go ahead.
What they do to those Russian women, I have seen I have seen men that would talk to me and say women should do this, they should cook, they should clean, they should carry the children, they should do blah blah blah. What? I've seen them get married to white women. They are the ones doing the laundry. They are the ones carrying the babies. They are the ones cleaning the house.
Yes.
So,
oh my God.
There is a lot of hypocrisy going on here.
In this,
I'm going to say black woman. I'm going to say black
especially
woman,
with black, we have hypocrisy.
It's not just in Nigeria that we are facing this problem. It's not just black women. It's not just Nigerian women are facing this problem. Black women are facing this problem.
In general.
All of us have this problem.
Yes.
And
what's happening to our internet?
I think our network is bad.
I think so. Oh. Hello. Okay, Becky, just speak. When she comes on, we'll just
from my own view of perspective, like what I see here is one, we African women, we are not losing our cultural identity whatsoever. Just because women are being misunderstood because they spoke up or because of what they are going through or something. So they will think, oh, you are not supposed to do this because you are the so-called African woman. You are not supposed to do that. No. We are human, for Christ's sake. We need to speak up. You understand? Women are supposed to be heard because we are human beings too. I believe, fine. You understand? I believe in feminism and not feminism at the same time. But I believe we all have equal rights. You understand? Forget about the culture. See, there are some cultural things that needs to be demolished. Me, I not go lie.
Don't be lying.
Yes. There are some cultural things that our forefathers that they have been doing that normally in this 21st century we are not supposed to be doing it anymore. Like marrying 3, 4 wives, 5 wives. You say that one a culture, and so-called culture, you now accept that kind of rubbish. Hell no. Me, I won't do that. I'm a married woman. I can't accept that. For what now? Okay, you can't tell me now that okay, fine. I might need that for my husband if I decide, but it's not a must for me because it's culture, so-called culture. You understand what I mean?
Go ahead.
A lady said something. You understand? She's a Yoruba woman. She said, once you get married, even if a baby is born today in your husband's house, you have to call that person brother. Yes, she was right. She was right because me, I'm from Yoruba. I'm a full Yoruba girl. You understand? She was, but me actually, when I was growing up, people used to call me that name. But I said, oh, I beg, me, I don't need sister. You understand? Respect is being earned. It's not by force. Because respect is reciprocal. You understand? It's earned. It's not by force. With these African men, if you see the way they ride on girls, they like, you need to respect me. You need to use one. Hell no. It's being earned. It's not by force. And this culture of a thing, you understand, is 50-50, you understand. It's controversial, sorry about my English. It's controversial. Like what I would say is like there are some things that needs to be demolished in our culture, while there are some things we need to take. You understand? And it's not a must of a thing. We're all human beings, for Christ's sake, you understand? We have our own life to live. Just because somebody is living like doesn't mean we should live like this. Like what Roma was saying, you understand? There are some parts in Africa that where they dress naked now. 2 days ago or 3 days ago, my husband was showing me a picture of an Africa. I don't know the side
Chris,
of
I need strength, Chris. I need strength.
I don't know the part of Africa where he got that picture from. I saw the lady. If you see the hair, the lady carry the hair is even 5 times bigger than her whole head. You understand? And we call that culture. For them, they're happy for it, but that doesn't mean that everybody must follow that thing. You understand? So me, I don't see. You understand? So there's some kind of things now like fine, dressing might be part of it. You understand? Everybody needs to dress the way they like, you understand? There are some cultures in another world, not in Africa, you understand, where you will go, they will dress naked. I saw some celebrities, they went to, I think not Jamaica, where they wear bra and all those things. They were walking on the street naked, you understand? They feel like doing it, that's why they are doing it. If they don't like to do it, I think they will still dress normal and go to that party peacefully and come back peacefully. That doesn't stop them from being called human being. You understand? So that doesn't stop them from being who they are, who not they are not.
God.
You understand? So me, I don't see the way we are taking this cultural of a thing to another level. Like if you see some men, typical men, they will tell you that if you don't do this culture of a thing, I can't marry you. I can't do this one. I'm an African woman. I am an African woman. But as a civilized human being, this is 21st century for Christ's sake. You understand? So this is okay. Just because the culture said, you understand? There are some religions that still practice 4 wives, 5 wives, 6 wives, 7 wives. Just because of that, okay, I will not accept abuse, all because of culture. No answer now.
No, now.
Because, you understand? Or I will not accept some certain things just because of culture. You understand? This there was somebody that said because some people got married. I was in this life throughout. I've been here throughout. Like a guy mentioned something like women marrying a man in our days of our forefathers as his division of labors. That's why the women stay. No, some men insist their wife must not work, all in the name of culture. That you need to cook good food for me. You need to do this one. You need to do a full housewife. Hell no. Women needs to be heard. I will not lie. I don't understand. It's true now, because the way we are taking this culture of a thing is I don't understand. It's going like beyond imagination, and it's something we need to protest. I'm not reading comments. Sorry, I'm not reading comments, and I'm not here to read comments. I'm just giving my own opinion, and I want to go out. So that's just it. So I concur with what Roman. Although the guy something was being misunderstood a little bit, and I don't really want to talk about it because it's none of my business, but partially, like 85% of what he was saying, he was right. 85% of what that guy was saying, he was right. You understand?
Brother, welcome to our live show.
Doing your main part as a woman, you understand?
Thank you.
Doesn't stop you from being a woman, but that doesn't mean that you must put the main cultural thing. You understand? Ideologically, you understand? You understand? There are some things that are right that a normal human being, common sense, basically, you need to know that this is what I need to do. Forget about being culture or no culture, but the way we are putting this culture of a thing into it is becoming controversial.
Our bros, what do you have to say? You think our African women are losing their cultural identity?
We are not losing it, though.
No, let our bros talk. Our bros is a man here. Maybe to him we are losing it.
Well, to my own contribution, little part of contribution, we say many of them are losing their culture. Yes, they are losing their African culture. It sense that there are a lot of things. If you are looking at culture, you are saying culture is a way of living, like the way we live, the way we were brought up. So why do we have to lose that thing?
Good night, Chris.
That's in total. We don't have to lose everything, even though we've grown up to meet a lot of things. But all of those things, all of those way of living that we have been trained right from childhood, all till the day we are mature. So we don't have to lose everything. So many of our women are losing everything.
Well, okay, give me 2 examples of waiting these women they lose.
Okay, all right. She mentioned one not quite long. She said the way they dress.
Okay.
It's part of it. The way they dress is part of it. Like at times, when people are complaining about the way women dress, they feel like they are just being justified because they are trying to do something new. No. Like if you look at the world at large now, the way a lot of people have been talking about women are being raped and some all of these things. The way people are being raped in the olden days, you can't in the old time, you can't compare the rate of rape.
Sir, sorry, I will go against sir. Please. I will go against that rape part that you're just saying right now. Sorry to say.
Wait. Pedophiles
that are raping children in Nigeria. You know what is called pedophiles? You understand? Pedophiles that are raising Nigeria, that are raping children in Nigeria, that are raping 5 years, 3 years, old men raping children. Will you tell me it's part of dressing? I beg go. I don't understand. Is that not part of culture that woman?
Sorry. If woman dress nice, you know they admire
It also attract them.
It's
also
see, woman made one statement, and I like my brain can't go far, can't come. But I don't know as I'm going to.
So
see, let me tell you one thing.
Let
me tell you one thing. In the olden days, go and check the book of history. Normally, even Africans, we were naked. Even some parts in Africa now, they still practice. They are still naked. They still naked. They still go to bush. So the Westerners came to Africa to colonize us. You understand? So don't even talk about that dressing part at all. I can wear whatever I please to wear.
Our culture so serious.
They molest children. Pedophiles are molest children. Are you telling me because of the dressing? That's why they are molesting children.
So many of them.
You just said there's people are naked. Can you naked now? You yourself.
Which one just before I went, see, you know what they call naked. You know what you are calling naked. Do you know what you are calling naked? You know what you are
because it's a culture and they've been naked in the olden days. Can you naked yourself now and walk like that on the street?
It's my choice if I want to naked. I can naked. Summertime I will naked. I didn't wear bra and pants to walk out for street. No verse.
You can't. So because we are exposing to a lot of things.
Dressing not be culture, my brother.
Dressing is not a culture. And dressing is a culture. We just choose to do it.
Dress is not a culture.
Wait, my brother. Sorry.
Dress is not a culture.
In this century, before it's culture for Africa, but in this century, it's not a culture. I'm just tired.
Hey,
I got big
brother.
My brother,
it's not a culture. It's part of our culture.
You know they admire the woman.
It's a lie.
The way
it's not about our culture now. Before when they are wearing boba and rapa, that one is before, not now anymore. In this our own century, 21st century,
but a lot of things has come into innovation. So we develop every day. So we can't still live the way we live.
Cultural dressing. I mean, just cultural dressing pass.
Any man who oppresses the woman, that one is not a culture. It's just a stupid way of where how that man was brought up.
But you guys are using the culture to oppress the women.
Talk about dress, you understand? So you guys are using the part like dressing, this and this, that and that.
The culture is not part of the culture at all. It's who he is. It's who that man is. So that you can't generalize that. Some men can. If I meet a man and that man will be a perfect person for you.
See, let me tell you one thing.
I'm not saying the way they like.
Women they dress the way they like. You understand? That's who they are. You understand? So you can't tell me because somebody dress. You understand? So
it's not who you are.
Okay.
When I was born naked, and if I'm going back, I will go back naked. Yes. So what do you mean?
So when your parents wear clothes for you, did you off it then? Yes, when you're secondary school,
let me tell you one thing. I said it before. Let me tell you one thing. I said it before. I said some tradition, some culture need to be demonished.
Nigeria people.
Okay. Can we speak in accordance? One person
speak. Maybe fast
so we can hear. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to ask you some question. What are the things that you said men are doing? That what are the things that you said people are complaining about? Okay, women, they're out of their culture. I just give you one standard, like the way they dress. So some like most of these things that we call culture is just like a guideline for us. Like the way we've been doing, the way our parents have been living their life in such a way that so that they won't get into much problem. Those things are just like a guideline to us. So we shouldn't deviate away from all those things totally. I'm not saying you can't bring in a new innovation into your way of life. You can, but don't deviate away from all those things totally. So like our culture is like how you respect your man, you respect your man. So that doesn't cut the value of who you are.
As a man,
that doesn't cut the value of who you are. You respecting your.
As a man, do you respect a lady?
No, I told you not quite long. Hold on. I told you not quite long. I told you not quite long.
See, respect is reciprocal.
Yes. And as a woman, you want a man to respect you, to treat you right, not to beat you, not to abuse you, not to do some all of those crazy things. As a woman, if you respect your man, such kind of man will not be stupid enough to disrespect you.
You hear the English I said? I said respect is reciprocal. If somebody respects you, It's your own duty, your own turn to reciprocate. That's what I said. So it's basic, it's English here. Reciprocate. It means that you have to return it back. Because you can't expect that somebody will abuse you and you expect you to respect the person. It's impossible.
You give woman, that woman
it's not possible. It's not possible. Who is a person that abuse you is not is
I beg. Melody. I said can I go?
Okay, Becky, yeah, you can go, Becky.
Like this culture.
When we are talking about this, the old culture of a thing, it's not that only a man respecting a woman, but what do we do? How do we live our way of life in such a way that we didn't leave all the culture behind? Someone like me now, the way I was raised up, I can't leave everything. Because the way I was okay. I grew up in the family. I grew up in the family where we are 12, and we have just two ladies among us. So when those two ladies got married, we are left with boys alone in the house. Do we say because it's culture, it's woman that's supposed to do all of these things?
Okay, bros, please just buttress your point. Just go straight to the point. Like, are you saying that women are losing? Okay. So what you're saying now is that women are losing their culture, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your advice now to we the women that are losing this culture? What can you advise us?
My advice to them is that, like, we live in the world of technology. As we grow, we earn it. As we grow, we earn a lot of things. We see a lot of things. We migrate. As we migrate, we're going to see a lot of things out there. So we shouldn't lose all those things that we were taught right from a childhood. Our way of life, right from kid, till we grow up, then we now start migrating, and when we're now seeing a lot of things out there, we shouldn't forget all those things totally. I'm not saying we should not inculcate, we should not copy anything from the entire world from out there. We can copy anything. But don't lose that thing. Don't lose what has been deposited in you right from childhood. The way your parents brought you up, the way your parents trained you. Don't lose everything. Roman, I always respect you. I always respect you. Everything you always say, I always respect you. Anytime you come on live, I always love to listen to you. But there's some things that I need you to just understand. Like, everything I'm not saying women should not do a lot of things because because they are out there, they've been to places and they've seen so many things that they want to invest in. No, they can, but they should not lose that culture. That's our culture, our African culture. They should not lose everything totally. The way we are brought up, we are meant to be respecting people around out there. To me, some of this culture that we grew up with is not. We are not being given to that so that we can be living with them forever. Oh, it's just to caution us from some things. That's where I see it. Yeah, it's to caution us from some things.
Yes, my brother.
That's where I see those culture. I'm not saying probably because this is a culture we should be living our way of life that way all through. No.
Okay, my brother. No. Wait 1 minute, please. 1 minute.
To use we learn to use our senses. How to measure everything together.
1 minute. This culture we are talking about now. Do you know that in some villages they still have slaves? In some villages, people, human being like you, they still have slaves. In some villages, they also use, like, when maybe so person died, they'll use like how many head some human being to, like, they will bury people, follow that person with that. You understand what I try to talk?
Yes.
Some villages, they use human being head till they bury persons. Human being head.
Yeah.
So they said, you say yes. What is yes? Yes, it's right. It means that it's right.
Hold on. I'm not saying it's right. Listen to me. I just told you. I said everything that we've known about.
Who are slaves? Everybody are equal. There is no slave. They are not supposed to be slaves. Nobody are.
I'm not supporting that. I'm not supporting that. Try to get me.
This is the culture we are talking about.
Wait, okay.
Now. This is the important culture that we are talking about. Not dressing or this or that.
I I want to ask you a question. Can I ask the question?
Yes.
All of this thing you are doing now, are these things those things that you've learned right from childhood?
And what do you think I'm doing? Can you tell me?
No, I'm just asking you. Your way of life now.
No.
Is it the same thing as? Is it the same? Wait, I'm not saying. Okay, forget about what you're doing.
Okay.
I'm asking you now, as a woman, as a lady,
Yeah.
as a grown-up lady, as a mature lady now. Your way of life is everything as exactly the way you're brought up.
I don't understand it.
Everybody in this comment section is going to hellfire. Everybody in the comment section is going to hellfire. Please continue, bro. I'm listening to you. That's why I'm not saying anything. I'm
You
listening.
asked me a question.
The way you are now, are you still the same? Are you still the same thing with the way you were when you're a kid?
Of course, I have respect. That one is
Bro, please, can you permit me to say something now? Please, bro.
Okay.
I want to explain something about culture to you. Some of those things were not even made up for the way that we are taking it. I'll give you an illustration. There's sometimes they will say that if a pregnant woman should not go out at night, right? Because an evil spirit is going to enter her belly. No, it's not because an evil spirit will actually enter her belly. Bro, let me finish my thought. It is because of the fact that when a woman is pregnant at night, since there was no electricity in those days, it can be dark. She can stumble over something and injure herself and stuff like that. There's another Yoruba culture that says that people should not sweep at night. That if you sweep at night, your parents will die. No, that was what they told children because it was children that used to sweep. So what it means is that bro, let me finish. Let me finish my thought. Yeah, it is because if you sweep at night, because there was no electricity, you cannot see properly, so you cannot sweep well. Now, a lot of us have now, because we don't know the history of even what our culture is, we have now taken this thing so difficultly, and now we are trying to navigate the world completely by these things that are just translated or that can be translated as a result of different kind of things that they were teaching in those times. They were trying to teach us children something. They were trying to show us certain ways for us to live our lives and stuff like that. But now we are holding on to these things and want to live our lives by them. It cannot necessarily work like that. So ask your question. So I'm saying that you don't even know the history. A lot of us don't know the history of this culture that we are trying to defend and saying is a certain way.
It's true.
Okay, bros.
I know about all these things. That is not all of these things that they told us. They are not real. Most of them are not real. Only few.
His network is bad.
Okay.
I disagree with you, man. Yeah, that's fine. Please, where's Toyosi?
Let me call on
the door, and the person stretches his leg, and the answer you should not cross that person. It's not a forbidden. It's not a caution. They are trying to cultivate. There are something they're trying to caution you of. That's something they're trying to caution you of. So most of all these things that we see as caution, that we hold on to them. I said it earlier. We can use our initiative to do some things.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria. Okay, I'm from Ondo State.
You're from Ondo State. Ondo, where is Ondo exactly?
Ilaje.
How many of your culture, Ilaje people, how many of your culture do you know how the things that they've accepted came to be?
Though I didn't grow up in the hometown. I was born abroad.
That's not an excuse.
Yes, so
that's not an excuse. So if you know that you don't know about your culture,
all of those things.
That is your own culture now. So if you don't know about your own culture, why are you speaking about things that have to do with culture? If you don't have the information even about your own culture.
Okay, answer the question, my brother.
I'm trying to let you know all these things. Like you
cannot let me know. You cannot let me know anything if you yourself don't even know those things. You cannot give what you don't have.
Okay.
Okay. I agree with you. You say I can't give.
Oh God.
I'm trying to let you know all those things also. They are not something that we should hold on to. They are just trying to caution us from some things. Yes.
Okay.
What are those?
You just give some points. I agree with you with all of those points. I agree with you. We can't just live our way of life that way because okay, we are told not to be doing this thing. I want to we hold on to it. We don't want to do it. No.
Let me tell you something.
It's just to moderate.
Like,
It's just to, all those most of those things. They are just to moderate us from our way of life. That's why I see it. I use my senses to do some things. I don't just agree with them because they said this thing is this how it's supposed to go. Okay, we have to hold on to it. No. No. Okay. I don't live my own way of life that way.
Mm-hmm. Let me say something.
So please. Why I'd asked you that question is go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am. Sorry, go ahead, please. I apologize.
Okay, thank you. Some of those men, like our Nigerian men, that demand for respect, they just want everything. You know what you cannot give, but you want
Sorry about my network.
You want respect. When you as a guy, you don't even know how to talk to a lady. You don't even have respect for your own girlfriend. Talk about say, now we will marry later.
The culture does not support men having respect for women, and this is what we are talking about. And these are the things that we have to accept that is wrong with the culture. But some people are saying no. Because it is culture, we have to hold on to it.
You cannot stay with them.
I make a point about this.
Because
like
their character is
when you're talking about respect,
not all, especially in this
we're not talking about. It's not all men that disrespect women, and if any man disrespects women,
not all.
If any man disrespects women,
that's what is
but
some men
man.
are very disrespectful.
That's man. That's
lady.
Who he is.
But you were here when a man came here and was talking about
right.
when his wife cooks for him, right. He has to ask her if he wants to eat it in the room or in the bedroom and stuff like that. And he was feeling like he was really making sense with what he was saying.
Like the thing was somehow.
Is that not his slave mentality?
It's still with you. You have not married that lady. Such lady, the girl will carry food, can't give you knee down. My husband. And that lady, you never still marry her. That kind of good girl, you never still marry her. The girl with the knee down for you, they respect you. What is keeping you, my brother? What is keeping you from marrying such lady? Let us be sincere.
Since that is what you consider as respect, right?
You understand?
I don't consider that as a respect. A lady bringing food to you, kneeling down to give you that food, that's not respect. That's not respect. To me, that's not respect.
No, we were here when somebody was saying it now. Somebody was saying it that
a woman greeting his husband and you are kneeling down for the man. That's not a respect.
Another guy came here and said his mother will cook for him and he will not even say thank you because it feels like it was our responsibility. I didn't even say anything when that one said that. He said his mother is going to cook. Did you remember that melody when he said that? That his mother will even cook, even he will not say thank you because it is our responsibility to cook for him.
That is no mentality. That is no opinion. It's not my own. My mom can cook me. My mom can cook for me, and I might need down to take the food from her, and I might tell her, "Thank you, mommy." It's my own way of life.
Okay.
Okay. So, what's your take on this, brother? Because I'm finding it difficult to I'm finding it difficult to get where you actually stand with this. But I was just talking based on what you had said.
What is your advice, please, for us, so that I can call in next caller? I don't plan to sleep here.
Yeah,
please. So let's be brief.
Sorry.
No problem, bros. Tell us, what's your advice for we women that are losing our cultural identity?
I will still on my point. Like, I'm not saying they should not copy some things from anywhere. Wherever you get to, you will definitely meet people doing things different way. You invite some from them. Then you don't have to lose your own culture totally.
Everything.
You don't have to. Okay. Can we say is our color part of our culture?
Our color part of our culture.
Yes, yes. We are as Africa. Like we generalize that as we are blacks. Is it part of our culture?
Is that not a race?
That's a race.
No, Roma, I'm just asking.
Bro, let me tell you one thing that you don't see. There's something
I just asked. I have reason why I asked that.
It is not. It is not.
Okay.
It is not. Color has nothing to do with culture.
Fine. Yeah.
So one thing that I want to say, bro,
with
the world, with the countries and environments and societies that are always doing well is this: the ability to be able. See, culture. People think that culture has to be a thing that you have to hold on to strongly and not let go of. No, culture naturally is something that is transient. And what I mean by transient is culture is supposed to be changing and evolving. We are a subject of the times that we find ourselves in. What do I mean by that? Brother, me and you some 200 years ago, we'll be somewhere fighting a war right now. We will not be inside the house having a conversation. We'll be fighting war for our land. Our life expectancy some years ago is just 30. From when we were born to when we die, it's just 30 years old, because we have to go and fight wars. We have to go and do certain things. So what I'm trying to say is that now some people have accepted something that somebody said a long time ago, and they're not trying to change from it. And that is the rigidity that we are finding. And that is why we are still thinking that women are supposed to behave in a certain way. Women are not supposed to behave in any way at all. Anyhow it is that they find themselves in whatever society is how they should be. However it is that they choose to navigate, that is up to them. Because guess what? They are another human being. We need to stop seeing women as a property or as something or somebody that should. It is more or less like we have decided the long and short of a woman's life completely. We are not seeing them as another entity. We are seeing them as an extension of ourselves that we have to control. And that is why a lot of times, a lot of men, we always come here and always want to have an opinion about what a woman should be doing and what a woman should not be doing. And my own point about that is, if you don't have a fucking vagina, shut the fuck up about anything that has to do with a woman. Because you don't know. You really don't know. It's just like when they're talking about childbirth. See, there's something called demographics. If they say everybody that has vagina stand up, me and you cannot stand up. It's not a matter of maybe we are higher or we are lower. No. It is just demographics. If you have a vagina stand up, these other two women are going to stand up. So if you don't have the capacity to understand even biologically what it means to be a woman, shut the fuck up about things that have to do with women. And allow women to be able to explain to you and navigate to you what being a woman is about and what they think is. You know, all of us are here talking about from our own mannish point of view. We are talking about what women should do and what women should not do. But we are not asking women. Somebody is saying our culture is not oppressive. As men, we should shut up about what is oppressive for women. It is women that should be telling us that this thing that we are doing is oppressive for them.
Very true.
Our mothers, brother, our mothers and our fathers, we know that is oppressive. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Hello.
Welcome, Matt.
Hi. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Man, I've been having a great time listening to everybody. First of all, I want to say thank you to Don Zubby for putting this show together, you know, giving us this platform to express ourselves, because it's not easy, you know, to bring people together. This is past 2 a.m. in Russia, and people are still here interested you know, in hearing about these issues. That's to tell you that people have been looking for ways, you know, that they can discuss these issues, that they can speak about these issues, right? I've been listening to Roma and other people that have called in to give their opinions about what they think that women losing their cultural identity. Well, as a woman, first of all, culture is not a bad thing. Your culture or your tradition, whatever it is what it's your identity, right? And I feel like I don't think African women have in any way lose their culture. The fact that we evolved, the fact that we started doing new things, the fact that a lot of us realized ourselves doesn't mean we have lost our cultural identity. First of all, we cannot even lose it because there's a way we were brought up, right? There's a way our parents brought us up. And whatever we do, we always go back to them. Wherever we go, we always go back home. You know, go back to our cultures, go back to our traditions and whatever it is. But for people to think that women have lost their cultural identity, that's a lie. We are only wiser. We are better. We know ourselves. We are listening. We are impacting the society. We are contributing. So it has not become like it's as if we are not oppressing the men. That's what some men, they see it as oppression. You know, they see it as a woman trying to be the boss. It's not true. It's not true. And in essence, most of those men that are saying that this woman is trying to ride on me, is trying to be the boss, they are out there chasing other women that are bosses. but they don't want their own women to be boss. They are out there, admiring women that are doing great things, but they don't want their own women to be better. That's not right. That's not right. Because they feel like, I own this person, so this person is supposed to be submissive. And people forget that being submissive, it's not what you ask for. You earn it. It's how you, it's what you give that you get. So I don't know why the society we live most times they just lynch on women. Everyone is just on, it's a woman. When the sun doesn't shine well, it's a woman. When the rain falls too much, it's a woman. Everybody just feel like, you are supposed to do like the way society wants you to, things that society wants you to do. Most of us grow up from homes where our mothers, your parents, our mothers especially, they tell us when you're in marriage, if you have been abused, you just have to bear, you just have to manage, and a lot of people have died in that process. So many women have lost their life in that same process of trying to, live the way they were taught by their mothers. Because their parents have told them that, when you divorce, it means that you are a bad woman. It means that you are not doing something right. It means when the man is treating you wrongly, it means it's your fault. That is the mentality that has been that most of our mothers has imposed. It's so much in our brain that even when you are talking to women like you, like letting them know that this situation where you are, it's not good for you. They tell you, I will pray. I will talk to my pastor. My mother said. My father said. It's against my tradition. Forgetting about their mental health. These days, nobody cares about the mental health of the woman in Africa. First of all, they don't even believe that there's anything like mental health in Africa. They feel like somebody that has a mental health issue is the person roaming on the street. They don't know that a lot of women are going through depression, and it's a big deal. They don't know a lot of women are trying to commit suicide, are trying to kill themselves, are looking for ways to get out of bad relationships and all that. But because of these cultural and traditional issues, because when I leave now, people will start counting, how many people have I dated, married, people will start asking questions, people will start blaming me, because in the society today, when there's a problem in the relationship, it's always the woman. When the relationship goes sour, it's always the woman. I know there are some women that are, some women are just on their own, right? Some women are just nasty. I know that. There are some women that are nasty. Like, I remember there's a point that Uncle Shegun raised. He said there are some women that they bring from Nigeria to America or UK or whatever it is, after maybe educating them, after getting married, they begin to, after maybe when they start earning some money, they start showing themselves, start acting, start fighting the man, start oppressing the man in the house. I know there are some women like that, just looking for a way to escape from poverty back home. It's true. I know of women like that. But the fact is, you don't use that to generalize every woman. We have 1, 2, 3 cases, doesn't mean that every other woman. But the fact is, most of these women, that's the truth. Most of the women that escape and come to Europe and come to America and, you say they change, they have seen what their brothers are doing to their wives. They have seen what their fathers did to their mothers. They have seen what, some of them have even married before. Some of them have experienced these things. So when they have this opportunity to explore the world, to come out, when they have this opportunity to come out in the world, then people start feeling like, this woman, she's now becoming the boss. She's not riding me. She has not forgotten her culture. It's now, she's now on her own. You know, she's no more respecting me, because, you know, African men, you know, they like this respect. They always emphasize on this thing called respect. You understand? So me, I don't believe that women have lost their cultural identity. We cannot lose it, because whatever it is, no matter how wide we travel, when you want to get married, if you are marrying an African man, you still go back home. You still go back to that culture. You still perform the traditional rites, whether you like it or not. You understand? The fact that you have evolved, you know, the fact that you are being, you know, you have become wiser, you have become better, you have become a better version of yourself, doesn't mean you have forgotten your tradition back home or your culture. No, that is who you are. You can never forget it. The only thing is those part of the culture that doesn't favor you, that are oppressive to you. You have been able to overcome it over the time. You have been able to move on. You know, you have been able to move past that stage. And now you can say, oh yes, I can stand on my own. So I don't see people saying that we have lost. We can never lose our cultural identity. That's one thing I believe. We can never lose it. Except you are not, I don't know, as an African, I don't feel you can ever lose your cultural identity, no matter where you go to. You can
But
never lose it.
don't you think we should lose some of them? For instance, you know, I brought up a point I was asking the other guy. I was like, in some cultures, if a man dies, they have to wash his dead body, and the woman has to drink it.
Yeah.
Do you think that should stay?
Those are no, I think those are traditions. I think there's a difference between tradition and culture.
Culture is the way of life. Tradition is the expression of that way of life in different areas.
I think some of these are traditional beliefs that some people, I feel like most of these people doing this, and they are just trying to show wickedness to whoever.
No, not necessarily.
Feel.
It is no. It's I know, but it is not. When they came up with those ideas, that was not the goal. So what the point I'm trying to make with asking you that question is this: there's really nothing wrong in doing away with cultures or things that are not necessarily working anymore. I don't know if you see my point.
True. I agree.
Yeah, that's
with
just
you
what I'm saying.
100%. Yeah,
Because
I agree
at the
with
time
you.
when those things, you know, sometimes we always say like, yeah, we should not lose our culture. If some cultures are bad, if some cultures are oppressive, if some cultures are
We need
killing
to let
children,
them go.
for instance,
We
like
need to let
twins,
them go.
if they give birth to twins, they should kill one. Shouldn't that go?
We
If
need to
somebody
let them
dies
go.
and you have to drink a dead person's water, shouldn't
Yeah.
that go?
Yeah,
So we
just like
should also come to terms with the fact that it is okay for some cultures to fall by the wayside if they are not humane and if they are not supporting, you know, the kind of life that you want to live. There's not, I think our fear is if we let our culture go, something bad is going to happen to us. No, I am an advocate of I should teach my daughter Yoruba, Igbo, and every language that I understand. That is my tradition now. All right. I feel like that should continue. That is also our identity. But do I feel like my daughter should end up in the kitchen or do I feel like my daughter should be kneeling down to a guy just because he's a guy? No. And one of the things that our culture.
Is not that is not the culture. That is a traditional belief.
That's based off of culture.
Yeah.
Yes, culture is not a thing by itself. It is the way you express culture that is now called tradition. So they are still the same. I feel there's a
slight difference. Because inside your culture, you have traditional beliefs.
Let me just come in. I don't want to talk for long. Let me just come in and say something. I just want to clarify something. Roman was here when I was speaking, and Roman only disagreed with me on one thing. And I remember that when I was talking, I never said culture. Women have lost their culture. I said the world was rather evolving. So as the world keeps evolving, they keep living by it. But when it comes to, in terms of maybe woman wants to settle down or go into marriage, they think of going back to the culture way of settling down. I remember I said some of these things. So a lot of women actually are making like out of content comments over here without listening. That's why I'm saying that whenever it is Romans tend to talk, I keep quiet and I listen because I always want to pick something from it. So if it's other one's turn, I keep quiet, listen, and I want to pick something from it. There's one girl that came and said, I said something that I said something, my woman kneels down and gives me food. Listen, when I said that, I am a Ghanaian, I am not a Nigerian. In Ghana, woman not they kneel down to serve man food. When she was doing it, I was like, wow, what is this? Like, you understand? I automatically stopped her from doing that. I was just trying to say that because of the way she was brought up in that cultural way or in that way of manner.
Kojo, sorry to cut you, please. There's something someone wrote. He said, culture is what groups us as a people, but tradition is what distinguishes us.
Yes. I think I agree with that. But what I'm saying, I just want to finish that line. I'm a Ghanaian. Our culture is quite a bit different from Nigerians. And I know that most women that are trying to talk the way their culture is, basically they are basing on the way it mostly affects their relationship life. You understand? The way according to the comment and everything that I'm seeing here. So because of that, like, I think most of them have this kind of pain in them. And I want that girl who made that comment to understand that when I come on live and I speak something, they shouldn't come and throw shit after that. It's like they always want to have something to say anytime I talk about my relationship or something. I want everybody that is watching, when I come on live, I don't talk about people's relationship. If I decide to say anything that I admire in my relationship, if you don't like, go. If my woman have to kneel down, which I admire it, I don't ask her when you are bringing me food, kneel down. But she feels that that's what she wants. She feels that she feels that she's giving me respect. Even when she's doing it, I feel it's too much for me. You understand? I was only trying to emphasize on how she does to me, which in Ghana, me personally in Ghana, women don't do that to me. You understand? So I just admire it. How can you give me food and after me eating the food, you tell me thank you? It's somehow to me. You understand? So I was only trying to admire the way she was brought up and everything, like, to me. So they shouldn't take it back at me and be saying that if the girl that said that wants to be serving her husband and be raising one leg up and be giving her husband food, that's up to her. You understand me?
Apologize, Kojo.
Bro,
Yes.
Mr. Kojo.
Yes. No, I just
but
wanted to clear that air. That anytime I like to listen to. You see, mommy, when you are speaking, you are speaking with so much
Kojo,
sense
mommy.
and wisdom, which I always speak. Yes, of course.
Kojo,
Which I always pick
you now.
something
Which
from
one is
that.
mommy?
I mean, whatever that girl came and said, I didn't pick
My name is
anything
Gloria,
sensible
not
from it.
mommy.
But rather, you came to the only thing you were able to talk about was how I said my woman go down and serve me. It's beautiful.
Kojo,
It's beautiful.
You see this issue, you see this
You
cultural
understand? So if she
issue
wants to
and
feed her,
tradition and whatever it is.
boyfriend,
You
or
see,
her,
we women, you don't understand the pains. You don't know what we go through. You don't know what
no, my sister, I
women go
understand.
through.
No,
You don't.
you
No, you
see, I
don't. Kojo,
understand.
you
Let me
don't
tell you
have the
something.
slightest idea. You
My
don't.
woman, you see me.
Mr. Kojo, please chill. Please,
yes,
see,
I am. Please, 1 minute.
Please
Yeah,
hold
no,
on,
I'm okay. I'm
hold
okay.
on.
I'm not
See,
angry. I'm not.
all of
No.
us,
I just want to clear something.
No, hold on, bro. You have talked. Hold on. See.
No, but I have not ended. You said I've talked,
How
but I have
can
not.
we
Let me
be
end.
people that we see the things that our mothers go through? This is one thing that baffles me. Some of us
Brother.
come from very dysfunctional families where we
Yeah.
saw the evils that our mother went through. And
But
we are still talking about our culture.
That's what I'm saying. That what about those who didn't experience that?
See, that's the issue. That's why I said you should calm down because
You cannot speak for the people that did not experience that.
Yes,
Are
you need to calm down because you don't know. You don't know. You're not. First of all, you are
Yes,
not a
that's what
woman.
I'm. Yes.
This
So when
question, you are
I'm
not a
saying
woman.
okay, Roman, when I was speaking, right, I was even rather speaking in the favor of the women. You understand?
It's not about speaking in somebody's favor here. That's not the subject of the
Just
conversation
no. What
here.
I'm saying is
So
that
whether you spoke
everything
in
I was
terms,
saying,
to support them does not necessarily mean that you are making a solid point. That's what I'm saying. So whether you speak for them or not, that's not the point right here. There's an
That's
issue
what I'm
on
saying.
ground.
That's what I'm saying, that in my country where I come from, things are a little bit different from where they come from as well. So if I am speaking based on my experience or what I see in my culture, because the whole topic is about culture. So
Yes.
I speak from the perspective where I come from. You
Bro,
understand?
but in the end, me and you, we don't have vaginas, sir.
You are a
In the
man.
end.
You can't really say much, Kojo. You
That's
can
the
only
truth.
listen. You need to listen more in this aspect. You understand me? You are a man. Okay, listen. Roman, I was telling you something about this the difference between culture and tradition. Let me give you one example. You see, like
Yes,
in
ma'am.
the Igbo, I'm not an Igbo, I'm from Edo, right? I don't see
Yes, ma'am.
seriously, I have to be sincere with you. I don't know much about my culture, like the parts of Edo where I come from. But
Yeah.
my mom is Benin and my dad is from another part of Edo. So I don't know much about my dad's culture. But I know more about Edo culture because that's where I was born and that's where I grew up. Right?
Yeah.
So there's this part of Igbo culture that, you see that culture, like Igbo, they have a culture, right? But in that same
Yeah.
culture, Melody, you're an Igbo girl, right?
No, I'm Calabar.
You're Calabar. You also the same. Calabar, all of you are almost the same. So in what's it called? In Igbo, like maybe take for instance, in Enugu, their bride price that they collect. This is tradition. This is not culture. They have a culture, like when they are having their marriage and whatever. But the bride price that Enugu collects is different from the bride price that Igbo collects. That's where tradition comes in. They have a culture, but they have two different traditions. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's what I'm saying. Culture, first of all, culture is a way of life. Culture, there is nothing wrong. So when people say women are losing culture, that's not true. It's our way of life. We're only wiser, we are only better, we are only doing more things, we are only evolving. But tradition is where the evil is. There are some good parts of tradition, but there are some very, very terrible parts of tradition. It's just like in Edo, in some parts of Edo tradition, when a man goes, when a woman goes, when a woman fornicates, commit adultery in a matrimonial home, it's either the son dies or the husband dies, not the woman. This was a tradition that was there for some time ago. But I had they have reversed it somehow. I don't know. When a woman commits an adultery, fornicates in a matrimonial home, it's either the son died, or one of the child died, or the husband died. So I think they have kind of reversed the tradition, for if you commit fornication, you have to go and do some sacrifice or you go for it. I think they have kind of reversed it. So, you don't really understand what women go through so much in a community. You don't have a
Yes, my
voice.
sister.
You are not
I
heard
really listen.
in the
I
marriages.
really understand. Anything concerning woman has a whole lot to talk about. You understand? For me, like I said, I'm a Ghanaian, but I'm ending up with a Nigerian woman because that's what I chose. And by so doing, I'm learning a lot from her because we are Africans. And then she's also, from the way she was brought up, is the way I'm thinking is like the way of their culture. That's why I said that culture, we all know culture is a way of life. You understand? So the way she's doing her things, it makes me feel that is her culture. You understand? So me admiring her culture does not mean that I'm obliging her to be doing exactly what I want. Listen, if my woman is a very quiet type and she's not a social media type, or she's not the person that talks, but if she will come up and say, I mostly even do the cooking at home, that's not because I admire doing it. Do you understand? Yes.
I need to
So because
advise.
there are a lot of guys that also allows their women to even do
I need to
everything.
give. I
Okay,
need to give
guys,
you
can
one
we please
advice.
summarize, please?
Yes,
Kojo,
everything.
please. I
They
need to give
allow
you
their
one
women to
advice.
do everything because of
Kojo,
tradition and culture.
Kojo, I need to give you
Bro,
one
let her
advice on this.
bro,
I need to give you
let
one
her
advice
talk,
on this
bro.
platform, please. Whenever you say your woman is a very quiet person, she doesn't like social media and all that, please keep her out of this social media talk. Because most times when I go through the comments, like not just today, she has been receiving insults that she doesn't deserve because you brought her to this platform. Melody, you know
Yeah.
this is true. You need to stop bringing her issues. If you want to talk, just talk. You need to stop bringing her here because each time you bring her here, everybody goes like, wow, wow. Even people that do worse, just because you came and trying to say what your own experience. At the end of the day, people end up bashing her. People end up insulting her. And Moscow, when people see her outside, they're like, you don't know that girl, Kojo girlfriend. Listen and down. You just said an example, like when you started dating her, because this is what she grew up with. This is what she was told that, oh, your man, you need to kneel down. Or this is what she saw her mother doing, and she felt like, oh, now she met a guy that she loved. She just wanted to give you, all the love, and the only way she knew how to love you was that means. It doesn't make her a bad girl. It doesn't mean that she doesn't know what she's doing. Please keep this girl out of this conversation. Seriously. This is an advice from a sister to a brother. Keep her out of this conversation. Please. That's just what I want to say to you. So Melody, I
Yeah.
need to go now. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for bringing
Thank
me
you.
on.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much for
much,
bringing me on,
everyone
please.
that had
Thank you,
contributed
Roma.
today.
Roma, thank you. Roma, thank
Roman,
you so much.
Kojo,
Yeah,
You
you're welcome.
are just
everybody.
amazing. Thank you for making this platform so interesting. Like, you gave us a voice, really. You really gave
Yeah.
us a voice, seriously. And we would like to be having you often. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kojo. It's always nice to have Kojo on this
Yeah. It's
show.
also always
Thank
nice
you
to
so
have
much.
Kojo here. He makes
Always,
it
no, no, no. Kojo makes it
interesting.
very interesting. He makes it complicated and interesting at the same time.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so controversial. Thank you, Melody.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you so
guys,
much. Yeah,
and
thank
good
you
night.
everyone for being here for like almost 5 hours. I want to say thank you, but I need to go because I have to work
Yeah,
in
you
the
need to
morning.
sleep.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll see
Good
you all
night.
tomorrow, same time, same place. My name still remains Melody, and have a good night, good morning wherever you are. Bye bye, everyone. Goodbye. Bye bye. Joe. Goodbye. Yeah. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. It's not always nice to have you. Who is this? Rosemary. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Love you, Eminado. Goodbye. Have a nice evening. I need to sleep now. Bye bye. Bye, Kojo.